we here? We're up now. We are live, I believe, from Chappie James Arena, getting set for men's basketball on the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Charles Ward, Mark Lassiter, as we turn our attention to men's basketball, Mark. And it's the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Lost to the Marauders of Central State in the ball game on Saturday. Looking to finish out the remainder of the season with a win here against the Badgers. And then Monday night against the Magicians of Lamar and Orange. But it's going to be a tough challenge against the Badgers of Spring Hill.
You know, the question I have for Tuskegee is how much afterglow is there from their San Francisco experience playing in front of a national audience, defeating Morehouse College. Had to be an interesting experience for these players, be on the West Coast, play in the NBA arena in front of a large, enthusiastic crowd. I couldn't help but notice how Tuskegee finished that game so strongly down the stretch, unlike some of the previous games that they have really struggled in. So watching Tuskegee warm up right now, they seem to be focused. Yeah,
we need to really give that a lot of due in terms of our conversation about pregame, because it's kind of a precursor for the ball game here. You're right, it was just an outstanding environment out in Oakland, California, inside of the Oakland Arena for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. They came into that ball game after we got off the bus into the arena. They came in so focused. The folks from the NBA were like, why are you guys so somber? But it was all about focusing in and dialing in and doing a tremendous job on the floor. Coach Taylor, this coaching staff, really have to be commended for the way that they had that team focused. And as you referenced, down the stretch, their mantra for that ball game was, we don't care what happened when we had 10-point leads before and we lost it with 4 minutes remaining in the ball game. We are going to finish here out in Oakland.
The thing I look at players, how they warm up. Watching Tuskegee's pregame coming off of the senior day festivities, they took a few minutes, they came out, and this team is really warming up as if they're focused and ready to play Spring Hill in the second game of this doubleheader.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for them because Spring Hill really plays large as it relates to their line. But Tuskegee, they played them before, scored 104 points in a ball game that went to overtime. Tuskegee had to come off the deck to tie it at regulation. They won at 104-95 in regulation, but Tuskegee in that overtime period, they did the exact same thing we saw them do in Oakland. They took command of the floor and they won that one in overtime against a tough Spring Hill team.
Well, hopefully some of the seniors will provide leadership for Tuskegee this evening and hopefully go into the tournament with some momentum.
Well, you talk about some of the seniors. One of them is going to be Kevin Seasbury, who was recognized in the post-game or the senior show after the women's ball game just a few minutes ago. Kevin, a little bit hobbled because he did not play against Central State, played out in Oakland, but he didn't play in the ball game prior to that. And we saw him with the wrap on his left knee, but he is scheduled to start this afternoon.
Watching him warm up, he's got that big wrap on his left knee. He's moving around, but you can tell he's favoring it. I'd be very surprised if he played extended minutes today.
I think he's starting primarily because he is a senior, given the fact that Tuskegee knows that it's going to have to play in a play-in anyway. You're absolutely right. I don't think Coach Taylor is going to take any chances with Kevin in this ball game, which means R.J. Walker and D.A. Pennington, they'll have to step up offensively. And we saw them do it in the ball game on the road at Central State. They knew that Kevin was out of the lineup right away. Walker scored 13 points in the first half, went a little bit silent in the second half, but they recognized that they needed to step up the offense because Kevin was out.
Tuskegee will need a big game out of Pennington as well. As just as you mentioned, he had some key shots on the West Coast. I'd like to see him keep that momentum going.
One more comment about that West Coast. Kasami Draper, a guy during the course of the season.
Double-double.
I've never seen, I think Coach Taylor and I have seen him smile once throughout the entire season. But he was all smiles after Oakland because of the emotional spin that they had to utilize to win that ball game. And they're hoping that his momentum from that contest will carry over here against the Badgers.
It's funny how you mention players that don't show a lot of emotion, but get into an emotional situation that brings the best out of them. I have a sense that some of these players on the Tuskegee roster are still finding their level, and having an experience like that can only add to their confidence.
Well, they're going to have to find a level this afternoon. They'll have to find it against the Badgers at Spring Hill. We'll have the action for you next, right here on GTSN.
Broadcast coverage of Tuskegee Athletics on the Golden Tiger Sports Network is brought to you by Alabama Department of Public Health. Healthy people, healthy communities. Healthy Alabama. Booster Digital Displays, dedicated to providing high-quality, affordable LED displays with exceptional service. TNT Fireworks, celebrating more than 100 years of America's #1 best-selling brand of fireworks. Alabama Power, developed for the service of Alabama. Wind Creek Casino, Montgomery. Elevate your game to fabulous. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Coca-Cola, real magic. Zuby's Taco Kitchen, Yellowwood. And by Vibes Restaurant, we're all about good vibes. Utilities Board of Tuskegee. Purpose, progress, people.
And it's 16 senior from St. Petersburg, Florida, number 12, Timothy Riley. And at guard, a 6'5" senior from Cork, Ireland, number 21, Eli Linehan. And at guard, a 6'4" senior from Jackson, Tennessee, number 35, Walter Peggs, Jr. And now, here's the starting lineup for your Golden Tigers. Coached by Benji Taylor and assistant coach Jameer Creek, who have an overall record of 11-13 and 99 in conference play. At guard, a 6'3" junior from Lithonia, Georgia, number 0, Kevin Seasbury. And at guard, 6'2" senior from Kansas City, Missouri, Lummy Evans, D'Anthony Pennington. And at guard, 6'5", redshirt junior from Hoover, Alabama, number 12, Chip Culpepper. And at guard, a 5'10", redshirt junior from Honolulu, Hawaii, number 33, Austin Taylor. And at forward, a 6'9" senior from Snellville, Georgia, number 34, Evan Howell.
And there you have the starting lineups here inside Chappie. James Spring Hill, coached by Craig Kennedy. He's in his 7th season. They come in 8-15 overall and 6-12 in the SIAC. They're 5th in the West. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, coached by Benji Taylor. Coach Taylor in his 6th campaign at Tuskegee. They are 11-13 and 9-9 in the SIAC. And you saw that starting lineup for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Sesbury in the lineup. It'll be Pennington and a couple of the seniors on the roster, Austin Taylor and Evan Howell, 2 names that don't normally start for the Golden Tigers, but senior day getting the recognition here inside Chappie James as they go against the Badgers.
A ceremonial starting 5 for Tuskegee. It'll be interesting to see how many minutes
how long they
get.
Right. Evan, the guy that has least minutes for Tuskegee, out on the floor right now. Basketball's up in the air. Barber handles for the Badgers of Spring Hill after the tap. They'll have it in a half-court set. Stephen Lyles, one of their star players. He's a senior from Johns Creek, Georgia, and Lyles lighting it up. He averages 18 points per ball game, but he doesn't lead them in scoring. Walter Peggs at 26.8 points per ball game is the leading scorer for the Badgers of Spring Hill. As Peggs' name's called, he scores right away.
Right on cues. You mentioned Peggs. Peggs one from the right side.
Boy, we're going to see that all game long. He is a 3-point perfectionist. He can do it inside the paint. Doesn't do very much else on the floor, but he is a scoring machine. Seasbury pops out, left side for Tuskegee. Across the floor now to Pennington. Howell up top with the screen. Riley pops out on a double there. Behind the back, Sesbury. Sesbury got some space. Jumper for 3. Sesbury back of the iron on the shot. Barber runs it down in the corner.
You could tell he was a little uncertain on the crossover behind his back on that last move.
One person that's not uncertain is Walter Peggs. You'll see this all game long. He fired it up from any place on the floor. That time a little bit off balance and missed on the shot. Last time they played, Pegs went for 33 against the Golden Tigers, but TU able to still fight and get it tied at regulation and win it in overtime. Pennington right side, J by Pennington, missed on the shot. Culpepper runs it down, one of the seniors. And half court set, 20 seconds for DA with another three-pointer. This time you can't give him double shots back to back. He hit the second out of the two. He answers with a three-pointer.
Pennington, he of the rainbow three-point shot, has the most arc of any player in the SIAC.
It's Lyles in a half-court set now for Spring Hill. Lanahan, free throw extended inside the Pegs. Pegs in the corner. Riley for three. Line drive. Spinners off the mark. Lyles tried to keep it alive. Got it on the floor. Pennington commits the foul. A correction on that. They call it on Evan Howell, I believe.
One thing you notice about Spring Hill instantly, Charles, how much they go to the glass on the offensive end. If the shot is up, you've got four other players stinking offensive rebounding.
It was Taylor guilty of the foul, so Elston picks up his first. Entry pass, Lanahan on the inside. He's fouled down low.
Sleight of hand pass by Bo Barber, who was handling the inbound duties. That was a double pocket pass. He didn't raise it up at all, just threw it right from his hip.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the sleight of hands of Bo Barber. He leads the conference in assists at 5.1 per ball game. He is hovering right around 118 assists on the season. The next closest player is in the 50s as it relates to assists.
Well, Bo Barber's a senior, so he's seen it all, and at 5'10", it doesn't matter. He's going to get the open man.
Lanahan on the second of two from the free throw line. He got that to fall, his first points of the ball game. Lanahan, the senior from Cork Island. We're talking about an international team. We'll see it with the Badgers of Spring Hill. Sesberry left side, got space, running jumper. Sesberry missed on the shot, but backside rebound, the senior Evan Howell. Up top to Taylor. Taylor out front to Pennington. Lyles guarding defensively. They double Pennington and a whistle on the screen by Howell out front.
Tried to get the pick and roll going to Howell. Howell was just a little bit in motion when he's setting that pick. He's got to be still, be patient, and then roll.
Let's see how long he keeps Evan on the floor. Evan with that first personal trying to set the screen. Coach Taylor probably going to be a little bit more lenient in this ball game with Howell staying on the floor because he knows that this Tuskegee team has got to do a play-in game anyway. So he's not going to be really pressed by the regular pressure of just having to absolutely win to keep the season alive. Barber misses, but Riley got a backside rebound. They'll push it back out to Lyles. Lyles working left side on Sesberry. All the way, shot rejected on the inside. Evan Howell got a Yellowwood block shot on the inside for Tuskegee. Over to Pennington in the corner. DA with space, jumper, back of the iron. He was falling back. If he'd gone forward, he'd gotten an easy rebound on a putback. Instead, Barber back the other way for Spring Hill. Tuskegee trails 4-3. Evan Howell got everybody on their feet after that Yellowwood block shot inside. Pegs, head fake Sesberry, jumper, Pegs, back of the iron, rebound Pennington.
Pegs gets a tremendous amount of elevation on his jump shot.
Sesberry, jumper, left side, can't find the range yet. Lanahan with a rebound for Spring Hill. Eli on a lead behind for Barber. Taylor guarding defensively. Wrap back behind to Riley. Riley to the rack. Missed on the shot. Culpepper forced him to change the shot at the rack. Taylor back the other way for TU. Chip in the corner. 16:20 left in the first half. Bumping inside on Barber. And Barber going to be guilty of the foul.
Both teams trying to force the action early. A lot of aggressive play. Here come the mass substitutions for the Golden Tigers.
Draper, Goins, and Walker out on the floors. You take a look at the play on the inside. Lyles trying to sneak inside. And Evan Howell saying, not in the house right now. Got a yellow with a block on that play on the inside. So Howell departs with the one block. Draper on the floor now. Kasami, left corner, up top RJ. Draper on Lanahan. Across the floor and threw it away. Draper thought it was touched by Lyles going out of bounds. Basketball over to Spring Hill.
Draper very active, setting the pick, rolling, and calling for the ball immediately as he got to position.
So the basketball back over to the Badgers. 15:58 remaining first half. Tuskegee trails 4-3. Barber slides left side all the way to the rack, got the space and missed on the lay-in with the left hand. Rebound, Tuskegee back the other way. Noah got the rebound. RJ with the basketball right side. trying to get it to Noah at the block on a mismatch with Barber. Up top, Draper instead on Wembley. Draper works left side underneath to the rack. Wembley with the block trailing. Basketball over to Barber in Spring Hill. Lanahan out front. Back over to Barber. Bounce pass inside Webley. Webley in the corner. Lyles for three. Lyles air ball. Backside Noah Goins. Goins with the rebound. Walker with the basketball across the timeline. RJ for three. Bingo for RJ in Tuskegee.
Very poised, taking the shot off the dribble. Got the space. Tuskegee with a quick 2-point lead.
Rodney Walker Jr. does not do anything fast-paced. Lyles out front right side on Draper all the way to the rack and banked it home right side. Lyles with his first field goal of the ball game. Tied at 6. Draper behind the arc for Tuskegee. Now Noah handles up top. RJ trying to get it to Draper at the block on Webley. One-on-one, Draper, jumper, right side, back of the iron on the shot. Barber clears for Spring Hill.
Draper got into his jump quicker than Wembley. That's something he may file and use later on.
Lyles directing traffic out front, works it to Peggs. Peggs inside the paint. They'll get him for the offensive foul on the inside.
Just to pick up on that point, Webley, listed at 6'11", appears to go about 250 or 260. A huge mountain of a man, but Draper, very elegant in his moves, can post and toast down low and use his quickness.
Timeout on the floor. First media timeout. 14-19 remains, and we're tied at 6. Golden Tigers and the Badgers. More basketball after this timeout.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Back live here inside Chappie James. Right back where we started. We're tied. 6-6 this time. 14-20 left first half of play. Charles Ward, Mark Laster with the call. Entire GTSN production crew here inside Chappie James, and an outstanding job they're doing here on Saturday afternoon in play, as they've done all season long. Tuskegee with Pennington handling it just in front of this Badger bench. Now Walker has it. He's doubled, tried to dump it down low. Barber kicked it out of bounds. It'll stay with Tuskegee. They'll have a fresh 20 to shoot. Last time these teams played at the Outlaw Center at Spring Hill, Tuskegee won it 104-99, took it overtime period, tied at 93 at the end of regulation. Tuskegee shot 55% from the floor in the ball game. Spring Hill at 52. Draper at the block, floating right-hand hook, and Draper is good for Tuskegee.
That's what Draper can use his quickness inside. Got that shot up before Webley can make a play on it.
Draper with his first field goal of the ball game. He had 26 points and 6 rebounds the last time they met up at Spring Hill. Barber left side on a touch pass, Lanahan. Tuskegee with his first lead of the ball game, 8-6.
The challenge is on the defensive end, where Draper has to match up with Webley, who's trying to post up low.
Lyles tried to bank it out front, but he missed on the shot. The rebound comes clear to Pennington and Tuskegee. DA left side guarded by Peggs. Now Webley jumps out defensively. Pennington on a move in the corner now. Sesbury leans back jumper. Kevin Remmers off the mark. Rebound tapped around. Noah kept it alive. Draper inside the paint. Makes that an extra move and goes to the rack, and he got the lay-in.
Nice ball fake. Draper composed himself, took the step, got into the paint. With a nice hook.
Second field goal for him. Peggs with a jumper. He knocks it down for Spring Hill. And the thing you're going to notice about Peggs, Mark, is every time he shoots, it's not Remmers. It's just straight net for him.
Well, the thing you also notice, he's shooting 44% from three-point range. So when he takes it, he's making it.
Yeah, he's deadly. Half court set, Tuskegee by 2. Draper one-on-one with Webley, left side. Draper back out top, and he threw it away, trying to get it back out front to RJ. And RJ will pick it up in the backcourt.
The thing about Peggs also, Charles, picking up on your point, he averages 35 minutes per game. So when he gets in, he's not coming out.
Not coming out. He's first in the conference in minutes per ball game overall. So he is the stalwart for the Badgers of Spring Hill. Lanahan takes a seat here. 12:35 remaining in the first half. He's replaced in their lineup by Rocco Lamano. Lamuno into that Badger lineup. He's logged a lot of minutes as a freshman. Peggs out front now, Pennington guarding. Peggs got some space, three-point shot, missed on it, rebound at the block, RJ. Good defense there by Pennington. He'll have it, almost stepped out of bounds, got it to Noah on the inside. Noah with the paint right side. Nice roll by him inside the paint.
Smooth goings with Goins.
Got an easy two, made it look easy at least. Barber out front, pumps a three, left it short. Rebound backside. Lamuno got it inside, shot inside, missed on the shot there, and a rebound cleared by Goings for Tuskegee.
Nice steal inside by Goins, using his body to get in between the man and the hoop.
Salisbury just in front of the Badger bench. Tuskegee with a 12-8 lead. Lyles picking up defensively on Kevin. Draper out front. Foul line extended, jumper there. Draper knocks it down from out front.
Draper sees something he likes in the matchup against Webley. That time from the free throw line, very decisive, nothing but net.
Challenging the athleticism of Webley at this point. Romano with the three-point route on it, good for Spring Hill. So that'll make it 14-11. Tuskegee still ahead. We're down to 11:15 left in this first half.
Rocco Lamano sounds like some kids I went to junior high school with in New York.
Yeah, in New York for sure, right?
Right, hey, Rocco.
Hey, give me the basketball, Rocco. Come on, man. Jumper out front. This one's off the mark by Rodney Walker. Rebound to Lyles. He'll run the floor right side for Spring Hill. Now back out top. Peggs free for three. Missed on the shot. At the block, chased around. Tuskegee touching it last. It'll stay with Spring Hill. 10:53 remains first half. Media timeout inside Chappie James. Tuskegee up by 3, 14-11. Timeout on the floor. Take a look at our Alabama power points in the paint down at the block. It's the work of Goins at the block. Over to Draper. He took that extra step, went right to the rack, and got the floater for the lay-in. Alabama power points in the paint.
Beauty of what Draper just did, Charles. Made that extra step without traveling. Kept that pivot foot planted. Made the nice move to the rack.
See that Tuskegee huddle there with Coach Taylor in the middle of it. He breaks out of that huddle, but just before the timeout, you referenced that Taylor was all the way out the free throw line having a conversation with head official Ken Washington about something on the floor. Taylor knows his ins and outs of a basketball floor. He can do it during the timeout, and I'm sure he got the attention of Ken with whatever it was he's saying. Taylor does such a good job of working the officials all the way to that brink. After the timeout, Badgers to inbound it in a half-court set. They'll push it out front. Lyles with the basketball. Tuskegee's in a zone defense. Lyles dumps it down at the block to Webley. Webley works his way in, floating hook shot by him, and the rim is good by Webley for his first field goal of the ball game.
First time that Webley has asserted himself against Draper. Before he made the catch, he gave Draper a couple of bumps and moved him about 6 feet out of the paint.
Sure, yeah, he's got a lot of girth to him. Right side, still there by Lyles, anticipating it. He'll run the floor all the way through and got a flush, and RJ guilty of the foul as well. So
a flush where he got his elbow to the rim and got a bit of a rise from the crowd in the open court.
yeah, Lyles, no question about his athleticism. The senior from Johns Creek, Georgia. Last year was the end-all and be-all for Badgers basketball, he and Timothy Riley, but this year with Walter Peggs with such an outstanding job kind of taking over the scoring. Lyles at 18 points per ball game, second seat for the Badgers.
Another player with some gaudy stats. He shoots 35% from deep outside the three-point range, and he's also averaging 36 minutes a game.
Missed on that free throw. So Tuskegee trailing by a point now, 15-14. Culpepper down in the left corner. Up top, Draper. Drops away from Webley with a jumper. Draper good again from the floor.
Draper says you may be able to push me down low, but I'm going to take you outside.
Sure. And if you come out here on me defensively, I'm going to slide right by you. Romano now. He'll work it left side to Pegs behind the arc. Culpepper defensively for Tuskegee. Tuskegee up 16-15. Lyles lost his dribble, goes across the floor to Romano. Romano on the move now. Foul line extended, dumped it down inside at the block. Head fake into the rack, and the lay-in is good by Luke Ertman. Luca, the redshirt senior from Berkeley, with his first field goal. So the Badgers up by a point. Tuskegee in the half-court set. We're down to 9:27 left in this first half. Walker back again on Romano. Now he'll slide left side. Not leave behind for Draper at the right block. Kasami at the baseline, and he's fouled by Webley.
Excellent entry pass to Draper as he was sprinting down the right side of the paint. Made the catch. By the time he got his feet planted, he was just a little bit too deep to make the shot, but an excellent play.
Rodney Walker with that pass out front for Tuskegee to set things up at the baseline. 9:17 left first half. Tuskegee trailing by a point to the Badgers of Spring Hill. Pennington pushes it in play to Draper. Draper on a weave to D.A. D.A. behind the arc for three. The rainbow, back of the iron. Rebound Draper, put back by Kasami. This time he missed inside. Ertman with the rebound for Spring Hill. Romano runs the floor left side inside the paint, and he will be fouled. It'll either be Culpepper or Rodney on the inside.
I think they're going to get Culpepper on that last drive.
Chip
Romano flashing down the left side of the paint.
As reference, Romano, the freshman from Tennessee, 7 points per ball game, rattled that first free throw good. He has been a spark for them coming off the bench, kind of as their sixth man. And all kinds of promise for him in that Badger program going forward.
He must have a nice shoe contract. He's got one green shoe and one orange shoe.
Yeah, he had that on up at Spring Hill when we played up there, noticed it for the first time. So, from Brentwood, Tennessee. Had some flashes of Hollywood out there with those shoes. Walker on a weave, lost it trying to get it to Culpepper on the turn. Instead they go to Pennington. Right block now. Draper drops back, one step on Webley. On the move, pushes back RJ for three. Line drive, got it.
Nice look by Draper, catching the open man, Walker. At the three-point line.
Second three-pointer of the ball game for RJ. Makes it 19-19 our score. Webley inside, pushing on Draper. And a foul called on the inside. Webley guilty of a travel there. Was the initial call?
I think there may be a foul. Whoop. Travel, it looked like. Let's go with travel.
Yeah, he did that pull the chair behind him move there. Draper did. Webley thought he was going to have some weight behind him. Draper backed up a couple of steps, and Webley just fumbled to the floor. Tuskegee Badgers tied at 19. Trey Crawford on the floor. He'll spring it left side at the block now. Draper steps back. Another jumper. Same result.
So far, Draper is taking Webley to school with a variety of offensive and defensive moves.
Draper already with 10 in this basketball game. Now with a steal. Draper showtime. Draper to the rack. Got the flush for Tuskegee.
The crowd at Tuskegee celebrates Kasami Draper on the breakaway dunk.
Draper with the steal and the flush. Alabama power points in the paint, and a Wind Creek Concedo Montgomery fast break lay-in. Pegs trying the answer. Culpepper with a Yellowwood block shot at the base. The whistles there with 7:42 left. Not sure if there was a foul called at the block, but we know we're at a media timeout. Culpepper with the block on the inside.
Walter Pegg's eyes got very big, but Tuskegee's defense came up bigger.
Got bigger. 23-19 Tuskegee leads. Break here on GTSN.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Take a look at the work of Kasami Draper turning defense into offense. There you see him with the pick and across the timeline. Nothing Romano can do about that. That's the flush for Tuskegee. Alabama power points in the paint for Kasami Draper.
Now, he made it look easy, but for a big man to make the tip and take the dribble 3/4 of the way up the court, finishing with the dunk, that is not an easy task. Give credit to Draper for his fancy play so far in this ball game.
No doubt about it. But we referenced the fact before that Draper started as a wing player, not necessarily on the inside. Did that out of necessity for Tuskegee. But he showed there with some good solid basketball handling skills down the floor. Riley handles it in half-court set for Spring Hill now. Back out top to Lyles. Lyles tried to dump it down low. Crawford batted it out of bounds. It'll stay with Spring Hill.
Another interesting matchup is Timothy Riley against Tyshawn Boyce of Tuskegee, who did an excellent job that time getting a body on Riley and preventing him from doing what he wanted off the pass.
So the Badgers will inbound it left of the cylinder. 7:28 remains first half. Tuskegee with a 23-19 lead. Crawford on at the block. He and Amir Boyce, who's on the floor. Chip Culpepper, Kevin Sesberry out on the floor. And defending that inbound pass, Rodney Walker. They got it in play to Ertman. Ertman foul line extended, running jumper there by him, missed on the shot. And the rebound by Lyles, and he was able to get it in after the shot clock. There was no violation, but he got a rebound and he got the basket. Half court set, Tuskegee leads by a field goal. Slide pass Crawford at the block. He'll square on Ertman. Back out front, Sesberry. Now Walker out front, 12 to shoot for Tuskegee. Got space. Rodney with the three, knocked it down again.
Second time he gets to his spot outside the three-point lane, gets a good look, and finishes the shot.
Third three-point field goal of the ball game for Walker. He's got 9. Tuskegee leads by 5. 6:47 remains first half. Riley away from the basket, got it to Lamano. Now Peggs. Peggs slides in between the defenders, and they'll get him for the travel.
Peggs got a little bit happy, but one thing you notice, Spring Hill is appropriately named, Charles. This team has some of the best hops that we've seen collectively all season. All 5 of these players can get off the floor.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You're right. That's one of the characteristics of this team under Craig Kennedy.
They should just change the name to Springy Hill.
I don't know if they'll like that in Mobile. 6:30 left first half. Tuskegee up 26-21. Crawford pushes left side now to Sesberry. Sesberry back to Rodney. Rodney again for 3. This one partially deflected by Lamano. Basketball over to Lyles. They'll push it up the floor, and Rodney almost with a steal, but Lamano handles it at the block. Now he's tied up down low. Missed on the first shot. Second shot rejected inside. Sesberry came away with the rebound and a whistle inside the paint.
Athleticism against athleticism.
Sure.
That was as much action as you'll see inside. Both teams very active in the paint. A lot of hands, a lot of deflections going on at the same time.
Call that one on the inside against Ertman. Take a look at the replay for Tuskegee with 6:09 remaining, and you see him that power in the paint again. Half court set. Pick that up a little bit later there as Crawford handles in the corner now. Crawford with a jumper. Trey from the iron on the shot. Boyce got a rebound and Amir to the rack, and he got the lay-in.
He got the lay-in and then flexed his shoulders at the end to say, I've got some muscle inside for y'all.
Boyce to the line to shoot for Tuskegee, the sophomore from Long Island.
You send them to the NBA All-Star game and they come away with NBA habits.
Yeah, sure. Everybody's all confident about their skills at the next level. Boyce, a work in progress for Tuskegee. We can get a shot of those shoes at some point, get a closer look at them. Got a little Hollywood glitter on them there as Boyce converts on the three-point play.
Those are about the fanciest Nikes that you'll see, because on the side there are about 5 stripes that are sequined in their nature, so when the lights hit them, they glitter.
No doubt.
Tuskegee has glitter shoes.
Lighting the way, 29-21. Tuskegee leads, 5:43 left first half. Lamano across the floor now to Lyles. Back up top, Ertman. Luca with the jumper, missed it there. Rebound fought for at the block. It's loose on the floor. Culpepper tried to save it. It will stay with Spring Hill as a result.
If there's one challenge for Tuskegee now, Spring Hill's going with a very tall lineup. So the rebounding advantage could be a challenge for Tuskegee over the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, you get the sense that Tuskegee does not want to keep it into a half-court set, particularly on the Spring Hill end of the floor. Lamano looks to the inside, dumps it in the corner to Riley instead. Draper guarding defensively on Timothy. Up top, Ertman inside the paint. Noah got him defensively. The floater by Ertman's off the mark. Draper clears for Tuskegee.
Credit the contest of the Tuskegee defense collectively.
Walker just in front of the Spring Hill bench. Jumped out front on a double. He'll slide right side. Lost his dribble. Now somebody's got to come get it. Chip will do that out front. 14 to shoot for Tuskegee. We're down to 5:05 left first half. Pegs defensively on Walker. 8 to shoot. Goins with a screen. He'll try to roll. Walker left side. Lost it momentarily. Now they got to get it up. Noah does that. Turns to the cylinder. Got it airborne. Missed on the shot.
Fortunate they got a decent shot from Goins in the paint.
Right. All the way down on that shot clock. We're under 5 left now first half. Tuskegee leading by 8. Pass to the free throw line. Riley. Draper guarding Riley. Riley bouncing in to the rack. Good defensive stop there by Goins down at the block. They'll get Draper after the follow-up on that, but Goins able to collapse and get in front of Riley at the block.
Draper made a very subtle move before the move. Got his hand in on the basketball before the player from Spring Hill was able to collect. Draper showing his experience on the defensive end.
Draper picks up his first personal. Pennington back out on the floor. Chip Culpepper with some quality minutes for Tuskegee. He will take a seat. Taylor back out on the floor for TU. Jumper, Lyles missed. Backside rebound, Noah. Outlets pass, Pennington. Left side, DA. Behind the arc for 3. Rainbow missed on the shot. Lyles clears. Spring Hill quickly back the other way. Lyles hop step in the paint. In the corner, Lamano for 3. Knocked it down for the Badgers. Second three-pointer for Lamano coming off the bench for Spring Hill. Tuskegee lead cut to 5 now. We're at 4:05 left first half. Pennington across the timeline. Draper right side. Riley guarding defensively. Now Pennington waits for the cutter. They go at the block. Draper. Draper one-on-one with Riley. Draper trying to get to the inside and a wraparound there. And a foul on Riley. Riley saying it can't be on me. I was wrapped and hooked around the waist.
And you can see the Spring Hill coach jump up. He wanted Draper on the hook.
That's exactly what Coach Kennedy's talking about. You gonna let the man wrap me all the way around like that? Instead, Riley hit with his second personal. Or correction, that's Riley's first is showing on the scoreboard. 3:52, we come to a media timeout. Tuskegee up by 5, 29-24. The captain, D.A. Pennington, talking to head coach Benchy Taylor as they get set to go into that amen corner of Tuskegee's timeout to get their strategy as we come back from the timeout. Tuskegee leads by 5. This is GTSN.
Golden Tiger fans, I'm Anthony Holloman, Commissioner of the SIAC, and this is Golden Tiger.
Take a look at the power and the point paints for Tuskegee as they break out of this timeout with 3:52 remaining in the first half. They lead it 29-24. Maybe we don't have one coming just yet. But you saw Commissioner Anthony Holloman promoting the GTSN network. He's just back from the Inside Championships, and so is AD Reginald Ruffins on the far side of the floor. Tuskegee representing well in the Inside Indoor Championships. Hope we'll get a chance to talk to AD Ruffin at halftime, get a report from the Indoor Track and Field Championships. Entry pass inside Draper. He and Riley tie it up. Possession arrow will keep it with Tuskegee. 3:50 remains first half. Tuskegee with a 29-24 lead. The number 4 team in the West, Tuskegee, after falling to Central State, fell to 4th. Pennington on the inbound play. Hops inside the paint to the glass, banked it. Pennington will go to the line to shoot for Tuskegee. When you talk about the performance out west, D.A. Pennington in that HBCU All-Star Classic at All-Star Weekend just really rose this game just in terms of his performance on the floor. One shot was just incredible that he had a couple of players hanging on him, leaning back with about a fraction of a second on the shot clock, and knocked it down for a big turning tide basket for the Golden Tigers.
There are some players that are so self-aware that when they sense the cameras and the bright lights, they just seem to elevate their games to the next level.
Well, you could say that for a team for Tuskegee when they were out west. They really rose to that occasion. They knew it was a big-time stage, and they performed extremely well. Barber, half-court set, up top Riley. We're at 3:33 remaining. Tuskegee leads by 6. Riley lead behind for Lamano, way out front for 3. Spinner was down, but it comes out of there. Draper with the rebound for Tuskegee. The senior Taylor gives it over to the senior D.A. Pennington. Pennington behind the arc. Nice slide pass to Draper. Draper just not quite ready for that one on the inside. Lanahan back the other way for Spring Hill. Barber on the move right side. Inside the paint and back out front. We go down to about 3 minutes remaining first half now. 16 to shoot. Riley out front, a long three-pointer by him. Banked it, but he missed on the shot. It hit the backboard in the cylinder and came out again.
That was a hard jumper.
Yeah, real hard. Taylor over to DA, trying to get it to Draper in a one-on-one with Riley. They go up to Noah up top instead. Now Sesberry left side just in front of the Spring Hill bench for 3. Kevin front of the iron leaning back, but Noah runs it down for a fresh 20. And we're at 2:30 left first half. DA hard move on Lamano. Running jumper DA. Spinner, good look. He's used to that shot. This time it didn't stay for him. We go down to 2:15 left first half. Barber with it out front for the Badgers. Got space, jumper left side, back of the iron. Barber thought he was good on that one. Lamano got a back deep rebound. They go back inside. Riley shoving inside. Shot blocked at the baseline by Goins. And Noah going to be guilty of over the back against Riley. So Riley to the line for the Badgers.
6'10" Timothy Riley trying to operate against 2 defenders from Tuskegee at the same time. Again, the athleticism of this squad is really probably superior to that of Tuskegee, but give credit to the Golden Tigers for just being tenacious inside.
They know how they have to play Spring Hill as Riley rattles the first free throw good for the Badgers of Spring Hill. Once it gets into a half-court set, it's about doubling up down on the inside when they get it inside to the taller players. Tuskegee did it that time. Noah got a block, but he got some body, so he picked up the foul. We have a lane violation there, and we do against the Badgers of Spring Hill. Basketball over to Tuskegee with less than 2 minutes remaining. Tuskegee up by 5. Walker back out on the floor. He and Taylor handle the offense out front. Left side Sesberry. Lanahan's creeping out on defense for Spring Hill. Now Rodney in the corner. Draper with a screen. Trying to get it back to him in a one-on-one with Riley, but this time Draper a little bit far away from the basket. He'll work it inside the paint. 10 to shoot. Back up top. RJ in the corner. Sesberry. Kevin with 5. Up top Draper. Draper hard push left side. Head fake nicely done. Floater missed on the shot. Nice work by Tuskegee on the offensive set. Just did not get the basket. Barber pushes right side, and they'll get him out on the penetration, non-shooting foul.
Tuskegee is short one more player inside. The only player that was deep on that last offensive possession was Goins. At 6'4", he's not the player you want posting down low. You want to flip that equation to see if you can get someone at least 6'5" or 6'6" into the paint.
Barber was shooting there, so they'll put him at the line to shoot, and Barber with the first free throw for the Badgers of Spring Hill gets his first points of the ball game. Barber at 82% shooting for the Badgers of Spring Hill. One more coming this trip to the line.
The reason I mentioned that, Charles, that Goins is a very effective player, but against a team this athletic, it's not going to work to have him down low.
Yeah, Goins is going to be better off just trying to front that basketball to deny the pass on the inside, because once it gets in there, he's at a disadvantage. Draper, Walker, Seasbury, Goins, hook shot. Hard on the shot, rebound, Lyles and the Badgers. Lyles cross dribble inside the paint, lost it down at the block. Basketball over to TU. Tuskegee, that #1 defense against field goal percentage in the conference, second in scoring defense. Good job there for them defensively there. They'll have the basketball with less than a minute remaining.
Stephen Lyle's eyes were bigger than his stomach that time on the break. Saw the rim, thought he had space, but he really didn't as Tuskegee got back on D.
Nice call. Good deception there by that Tuskegee defense. Half-court set. Sesberry in the corner now. Lyles guarding defensively. Boyce back out on the floor. He'll screen out front. RJ in and out of the paint. Back over to Austin. Now Amir at the block. 7 to shoot. He'll square on Riley. Inside the paint, Taylor. Back out Sesberry for 3. Sesberry can't find the range so far. Missed on the shot. The long rebound to Lamano. And the Badgers of Spring Hill with 20 seconds left.
I'm surprised that Tuskegee's got this many minutes out of Sesberry with that bum left knee.
Half-court set for Barber. Bounce pass Lanahan left side. 11 to shoot now. Lanahan on the weave. Barber back up top. Lanahan. He's on the move left side. Barber knows he's running down on time. Missed on the shot. Riley got a rebound. Missed on his grip. And that is how the first half ends here inside Chappie James. Tuskegee with a 30-26 lead as we get an update from that Miles Lane game on the women's side. Miles right now with just 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. They lead it 48-42. We referenced the fact that the women of Tuskegee looking for a little bit of help from Lane this afternoon, hoping they can take first place back from the Golden Bears of Miles College, but right now Miles taking care of business against Lane with 4 minutes left, but still a lot of time there with just a 6-point differential.
Interesting afternoon, but the most important thing is for the Tuskegee men to see if they can hold on to this very slim halftime lead and play some solid ball with 20 minutes remaining in this game.
Yeah, they meet the Badgers of Spring Hill this afternoon. Final home contest for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. They play in Memphis on Monday, but they definitely want to finish out this homestand with a win here against Spring Hill. And what they're vying for is to try to stay in they're in fourth now. They know they won't go any lower than fourth, but the idea is to creep up, go to third, and maybe finish in second. And then that way, when you get into the play-in round, you're playing a lesser opponent on the East Division of the SIAC.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out for the Tuskegee Golden Tigers. I think the most important thing for them is going to be momentum. If they can play a solid game on Monday, come out with some confidence, building off of the confidence they had on the West Coast, they'll be in good shape.
Right now, they're in good shape at the break. They lead at 30-26 over the Badgers of Spring Hill. We'll take a break here on GTSN.
STEM careers are one of the fastest growing fields, yet women of color comprise less than 10% of the workforce within these high-paying jobs. Tuskegee University is changing this. In 2018, we were awarded a grant from the National Science Foundation to develop computer science career awareness for young African American women. In 2019, we established the Campaign for Leadership and Excellence Scholarship. It provides future female engineers with financial support to pursue their educational goals. Today, Tuskegee continues to educate African American women in STEM fields, empowering them to pursue their chosen careers and providing the foundation they need to transform science, medicine, and technology. If a STEM career is in your future, explore what Tuskegee can offer you.
We're back live here inside Chappie James Arena at the intermission. Tuskegee leads at 30-26, and then just in front of us, what you're seeing is the Tuskegee track and field team that competed in the indoor track and field championships in Louisville, Kentucky, and being recognized here for a solid performance of what they've done in the track and field. We're going to get Coach Athletics Director A.D. Ruffin over here momentarily to talk about the performance of that Tuskegee team in the indoor track and field. And I know they had some good performances overall as a team and in some of the individual performance. So congratulations to Tuskegee track and field for the job they did in Louisville.
Well, all that matters is that about 5 of the athletes have those SIAC champs signs. If you have that, that's important.
As the track and field team is recognized, going to get the head track and field coach from Tuskegee coming in. As we get to set to bring her on. And we are live back inside Chappie, James, as a track and field team gets recognized for its work at the Indoor Track and Field Championships. And we are joined now by head coach Jones of the Tuskegee Track and Field team.
Yes.
Coach, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Let's talk about the performance of the team out in Louisville.
For the outcome, I mean, we just were really blessed. We've been working hard. I knew it was a point in time when we started to practice when the girls locked in. And they started, you know, they was actually fussing with each other. So I knew at that time, I was
That's
like,
a good thing, right?
they're ready to go. So we were focused when we got there. We went to practice, and I saw at practice that, you know, they were ready to handle business. And once we started with our distant runners. The distant runners, and we finished 1, 2, 3 in the first event with the 5,000, and that just boosted everybody else up, and we just went from there. You know what I mean? And I told them all the time that, you know what? Once you get on that podium, it's hard to come off. You want to get on it again.
Every
and once
time,
they started
right?
seeing that, at the end of the meet, they started asking their coach, who you putting on the 4x4? So everybody wanted to run because everybody wanted the medal there. So, I mean, we were really blessed. We had a lot of teams in the conference that I don't think you're going to pull it off. And then once we started, they're like, oh, hold on. Like, you know, they were saying congratulations before it was even over.
Wow.
But we had a lot in the finals. So that made it worthwhile. I think going out of the first day, we were actually in second place. But we knew we had a lot of people in the finals. We had at least 2 or 3 in each final, and some of the other events 4, so we already knew that, like, you know, we had a really good chance.
I'll talk about how proud you are of this group in terms of taking them out there and the kind of performances that they had as a part of the competition.
I'm extremely proud. Anytime when you can have an athlete and they can execute what you're doing in practice, and then you see, you know, I mean, I did the stats on the way back, and even the ones that didn't make the medal stand, I mean, we had so many personal bests with both the men and the women, but man, it was crazy. They said, man, coach, this is the fastest I've ever ran, and I still didn't make it to the final. So, you know, it's a good boost for them, and I'm excited for outdoor season because now they see it, and now my men see it, like, hey, look, we can do this too, and so now they buying into it a little bit more. So, man, I'm extremely proud of them.
And you reference it now because you talked about indoor, now it's outdoor. So let's talk a little bit about outdoor in terms of both the men and women.
Yes, sir. Okay, outdoor will be a little bit more challenging for us because you add a lot more events. So you add more distance races, you add more throwing events, and we have a small team. So we have to actually, we're going to be playing chess now, trying to see how we can get those points. And because, you know, you're going up against teams like Albany State and Clark Atlanta who have 34 plus on their team. And so their main focus is they can take 1 or 2 athletes and they can just focus on one event. What we're trying to do multiple events and see the outcome. But I think we're still going to be at the top. We're going to strive for it, you know, that first position. And they just got to know that indoor is past us, and now we got to look forward to outdoor. They'll get probably a week off, and then, you know, we back to running. So.
Well, that's a good thing. Tuskegee is definitely running behind your leadership as head coach of the track and field team. But I know you're not doing it alone. Anybody else you want to thank as a part of helping?
Oh, man. I mean, especially the administration. They have always had my back since I've been here. A.D. Ruffin, when he
He's got everybody's back, doesn't he?
Yeah, sure. And he actually came up to
I know,
the
he told you.
championship.
I was talking to him up there.
Oh, man, when he came over and had some of the other coaches over from like Miles and everything, when he started talking crazy to him, I said, oh, we got to perform. But, you know, prior to him coming, it was one day I was walking to the office, and he said, Coach, have my room ready. And I'm like, you coming to championship? And he was like, yeah. I said, I went to the team. I said, hey, we got a team meeting. They had a team meeting. I said, man, he putting that pressure on me.
Oh, yeah.
So, man, he showed up, man. I mean, the team, I mean, it was awesome. He showed up. We were on the medal stand, and he screaming, hey, get my coach in the picture. They screaming, get the AD in the picture. So he had to come down there and take a picture, but we knew we had to step up, especially, you know how he talked.
Sure.
So when he started talking to everybody, we was like, oh, yeah, we definitely got to have his back now. So, you know, we're really blessed to have an AD like him. But, I mean, my family have played a major part. You know, they didn't get a chance to make it to the championship. But, I mean, my mom, she was, if you look at my phone, it seemed like she was there because she was up feeling under weather, so they didn't get a chance to make it. But I mean, she was sending text messages as if she was talking to them, so I had to relay it to them that
Sure.
way. You know?
Just right at the moment, right?
Definitely family, my husband, you know, everybody, just all the hours that we had to put in so far for us practice, getting up, you know, and that's one of the other reasons why I'm so proud of the team, because I mean, getting up at 4, some practicing
It's
at
lonely.
5,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
and sometimes your last practice not in until 8 p.m.
Sure.
So I'm very extremely proud of it, and I'm happy to have that support system behind me.
Well, we're extremely proud of you and proud of the
Thanks so
team in
much.
terms of performance there. We'll see you now outdoor season.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Head Coach Jones, congratulations to her and the indoor track and field teams as they perform in Louisville,
And
Kentucky,
look,
just a couple days.
Before we leave, because if my husband end up hearing or watching, it's Coach Easterly. But,
Oh,
you know,
I'm sorry.
But you know what?
That's right. That's right.
Coach Ruffin, you try, and he'll be like Coach E, Coach, but then when he get excited, he say Coach Jones.
Right? That's the easiest thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Coach
Well, thank
Easterly with the head coach of track and field. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you
Best
so
of
much.
luck.
I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll take a break here on GTSN. The news continues. Good for Tuskegee athletics.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks,
Why?
so less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
STEM careers are one of the fastest growing fields, yet women of color comprise less than 10% of the workforce within these high-paying jobs. Tuskegee University is changing this. In 2018, we were awarded a grant from the National Science Foundation to develop computer science career awareness for young African American women. In 2019, we established the Campaign for Leadership and Excellence Scholarship. It provides future female engineers with financial support to pursue their educational goals. Today, Tuskegee continues to educate African American women in STEM fields, empowering them to pursue their chosen careers and providing the foundation they need to transform science, medicine, and technology. If a STEM career is in your future, explore what Tuskegee can offer you.
Hi, I'm Aaron James, head coach at the Tuskegee University. Thank you for listening to the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Go TU.
And we're back live inside Chappie. James at the intermission. Tuskegee leads it 30-26 over the Badgers of Spring Hill. Charcoal Charlesworth, Mark Laster. Mark, first half of play for Tuskegee. Finally got into a rhythm, got a lead, and they continue to lead at the break.
If Tuskegee can get anything from D.A. Pennington, they will be in good shape. They had some uneven shooting in the first half. They had excellent defensive effort, however, against this team from Spring Hill, which is probably superior to them athletically.
Let's take a look at some of these first half highlights with Tuskegee leading at 30-26. Half court set for Tuskegee. Out front, Pennington with the basketball. One of the rainbow threes at that Vibes Restaurant three-point basket there to get him started. Back the other way, Evan Howell with that yellow wooden block shot on the inside, and Rodney Walker, one of his three-pointers from outside for Tuskegee in the half-court set. And how about this transition basket here? Draper with the steal, and you can't stop him there in open field like that.
Draper was extremely effective inside early against Jaden Wembley, the big 6'11" center for Spring Hill, using a variety of moves to really dominate Wembley and give Tuskegee its lead.
Talk about that first half. Tuskegee leads at 30-26. We'll take a break here. When we get back, we'll have second half action for you on GTSN.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks,
Why?
so less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Hi, I'm Aaron James, head coach at the Tuskegee University. Thank you for listening to the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Head coach Aaron James, Golden Tigers football. That'll be here before you know it. Tuskegee at halftime of the men's basketball game leads 30-26.
Speaking of football, let's just change topics for a minute. I've noticed a lot of teams doing away with their spring football games. Have you noticed that? So they're thinking that the players have had enough during the regular season. So it'll be interesting to see if Tuskegee follows suit and does something different with their spring schedule.
Well, I can answer that for you. I had a chance to talk to Coach James about that, and they will do something different, as you referenced, on their schedule. Yeah, I just don't want to take any chances as it relates to that portion of the season as we take a look at an update from that final ball game between the Golden Bears of Miles College and Lady Dragons in women's basketball. Miles able to win that ball game 55-49. So the work's still ahead. Miles with a couple of ball games still left on their schedule. So Tuskegee still with an outside chance of perhaps finishing number one, but they are going to need some help from the Lady Bears of Miles College with a loss. Lane not able to do it this afternoon. But the Golden Tigers on the women's side, like you said, Mark, they can only do what you can do. Take care of the things in front of you, and they took care of things against the Lady Badgers this afternoon with a 49-38 win.
Well, the thing about the Golden Tigers women's basketball team is that they're playing with a tremendous amount of confidence. They're playing deep into their bench, and they're winning games.
Set for second half action. They're going to inbound it right here in front of us, so we got to move our gear, right? Lanahan set to inbound it to get things started in the second half. Tuskegee leads it at the break, 30-26. Barber with it out front, gives it to Lyles, so it's Lanahan, Riley, Barber, Lyles, and Peggs out on the floor for Coach Kennedy. Lyles goes right to work on the inside, but he missed on his shot. Goins had it. It was tapped out of bounds by Lyles. It'll stay with Tuskegee. So TU with the basketball, their first look in a half-court set as they come across the timeline. Walker with it. He'll work it right side for Tuskegee. Up top, Pennington. At the block, Goins to the rack, missed on the shot. Rebound backside to Peggs and the Badgers. Lead behind Peggs. Jumper from out front, air ball there. And Pennington guilty of a foul. Can't believe that call.
Pennington was contesting Peggs as he gets at least 3 feet off the court to take that jumper. Pennington was right there. Check the replay. If this is the play, look at the height Peggs gets. Pennington seemed to graze him on that right hand.
Yeah, players will make you think something entirely different after they respond to a play. But the video, as they say, don't lie.
Also, the fact that Peggs shoots 44% from 3, he's not going to miss a shot that poorly without some contact.
And Peggs, if you send him to the free throw line, less likely to miss it there. Shoots 88% from the free throw line. Leads him in that category. Knocked down 2 of 3, one more coming. 19-16 left in this basketball game. Peggs drills 3 from the line to cut into the Tuskegee deficit, now 30-29.
Peggs' mechanics on his jumper and his free throws is impeccable.
Jackson, Tennessee native. It's transferred to Spring Hill from Tennessee Tech. Draper, floating hook right side, left that one short of the cylinder. Rebound to the Badgers of Spring Hill. They can claim a lead with a basket that's tripped down the floor. Barber out front. Walker defensively on him. Riley now right side Works it inside Peggs. Turns from the free throw line. Spinner is good on the jumper from him.
Peggs got Pennington pinned down low. Called for the ball. Turned. Nothing but the back of the rim and into the net.
And falling away from the basket on that shot as well. 31-30 Badgers with the lead. Half-court set now for Tuskegee. Draper back at the block on Riley. Bounce pass across the floor. Sesbury. Sesbury fronts the rim on the shot. Can't get it to roll forward. Basketball to Spring Hill. They lead by a point. Riley at the block, right side. Turns on Draper. Doubled there by Sesbury. Out to Lyles now. Lyles pops back for three. Got a good look. Missed on the shot. Noah Skies got the rebound for Tuskegee. Walker, middle of the floor, pushes to Seasbury. Kevin inside the paint, got some space on the jumper. Sesbury routed it, battled, and it bounced out of there for him. Kevin just cannot get that rim to unlock for him in this basketball game. Half-court set back the other way for Spring Hill. Lenahan pushes from way out front, and he knocks down a deep three-pointer there for the Badgers. Coach Taylor may have to take a timeout after that one. Slow start for Tuskegee after the intermission. 17:31 left in the ball game. Tuskegee trailing now by 4, 34-30 after leading at the intermission.
Lenahan shot that from his chest. Didn't get a lot of elevation. Normally you see players take that jump shot, the ball over their head, but Lenahan almost with a push shot, giving Spring Hill a 4-point lead.
One of it's because he was so far off of the floor when he shot it, almost near mid-court on the long three-pointer. But Lenahan able to knock that one down. That was his first field goal of the ball game. Gave the Badgers a lead.
Shot had the attitude of some of the three-point shots we saw at halftime being shot by some of the fans called out for a promotion. You're just trying to get the ball any way you can to near the hoop.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Jones Easterly at the break and didn't get a chance to see the three-point half-court shots. Did anybody make it?
One made it out of about 12 shots.
Oh, wow. So he gets the Visa $50 gift card. That's what was on stake.
You said $50?
50. That's only for half court, man. You got to hit it from the other end for one more, right?
That's like the dance contest at the Swahili Elks in Lexington, Kentucky, where the first prize is $15.
Yeah, you could always do push-ups for the ones you miss, huh? Any volunteers?
I'm done for the season.
Yeah, I think we are too. After the timeout, Draper works the paint for Tuskegee. Sesbury for three. Kevin finally wakes up and finds the range from outside.
Got a clean look. Space from the left side of the arc. Seasbury. Sweet.
See if that can't get him going for Tuskegee. Barber across the timeline, gives it up to Lyles out front. Tuskegee trailing by a point now, 34-33. Barber up top, Lenahan. Lenahan surveying, trying to get it to Lyles at the block, and Kevin's fronting him defensively. Lenahan back over to Peggs for three, out front, missed on that shot. Amir took that rebound away from Riley. Back the other way now. Good job by Boyce at the block. Left side. Sesbury again for three. Sesbury, he's on target now. Second three-pointer in a row for him.
He has taken the knee brace off of his left knee and feeling much better about it on his shot.
36-34 after the triple. Tuskegee takes the lead. 16:29 remains. Lenahan behind the arc trying to get it to Riley, fronting Amir inside. Bounce it in traffic. Boyce took it away, and it's kicked on the inside. It'll stay with Spring Hill.
You got to think that a player removing a bulky brace like that has got to feel a sense of freedom of movement compared with being conscious of it. Interesting that Seasbury hit those two long shots without the brace.
Yeah, and didn't recognize that he had it off, but the results show. Tuskegee by a field goal, 16:21 left in the ball game. Peggs trying to work inside the paint, doubled there. Bounce pass at the block. Barber slid across the floor, threw it away, but he'll run it down. Lyles on the move left side now. Now this time Boyce had to steal, came away to Peggs. Peggs rattled a three-pointer as a result. Tuskegee gave them three looks that time. Peggs able to hit the final one.
This is where Tuskegee's going to have to rebound on both ends to combat the size of Spring Hill. Very athletic squad.
Had it wrapped up twice, just not able to finish. Draper at the block to the glass, and he finishes for Tuskegee with the bank shot.
That's where you want Draper operating in his office in the paint.
Good job by him at the block. I've got him at 14 in the ball game. Half-court set pegs down for the Badgers. He'll work right side all the way to the rack. Got it to the cylinder, got a lay-in and a foul.
Pegs against 3 Tuskegee defenders. Saw what he wanted, just needs a slice. Pegs with the move and the finish.
And as you referenced, he just saw that little sliver in there, is able to slide in there and got it to the cylinder and got the lay-in. He's fouled, he's at the line to shoot. He'll do it after this timeout. Tuskegee trails 39-38.
Staying up to date on all recommended vaccines is one of the safest preventive care measures available to protect you and your family from disease. Many children and adults that delayed vaccination during the pandemic are still behind schedule. It is crucial that we take steps to get everyone back on track with their routine immunizations. Tuskegee fans, let's all do our part to get back on track. Protect yourself and others by making sure you are up to date on all recommended vaccines, including respiratory virus vaccines. Don't wait. Vaccinate. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Back live here inside Chappie, James, as we take a look at some of the action on the floor. Vibes Restaurant three-point basket. That one's finished by Kevin Sesberry behind the arc. A couple moments later, he had another one from behind the arc about the same spot for Tuskegee to cut this deficit to 39-38 on a Vibes Restaurant three-point basket.
Problem for Tuskegee, Walter Peggs Jr. is listed at 6'4", but he plays like he's 6'8". Took the last drive into the rack, towards the rack, against 3 Tuskegee defenders. There was not much space there, but he saw enough space to drive and finish.
I like the way you started your comments there. Problem for Tuskegee. Yeah, Peggs is definitely a problem as he finishes on that three-point play with the field free throw.
The 1-2 punch for Spring Hill is Peggs and Lyles. Those are the 2 problems.
Take a look at some updates from the SIAC on the men's side. Central State and Kentucky State University in overtime. Central State winning that ball game 57-56, and I believe we needed the help in that contest from Central State. I think Kentucky State's over them in the rankings. I think that's right, that we needed the help from Kentucky State. Pennington needs the help, pushes back out front. Rodney. Sesberry again for 3. Sesberry counted. Yes, sir. He's ready now.
On the release, he knew he had that. He held the hand up just a few extra seconds. Sesberry on fire.
41-40. Tuskegee back out in front with less than 15 remaining now. Entry pass stolen away by Draper. Walker with the basketball for TU. He'll come across timeline right side.
Find
up top,
0.
Pennington left side. He's got space. DA for 3. He feels it. He knocks it down with the rainbow.
His mama named him DeAnthony. I'm going to call him DeAnthony.
I'm going to call the boy DeAnthony. Nice. Second three-pointer by DA for Tuskegee. 44-40. Tuskegee up by 4 now. 14:30 left. Lyles backing in. Doubled by Draper. Jump ball going to be called. TAU with the basketball after the work by Draper to tie up Lyles on the inside.
That's where you do work on the defensive end.
He was just not going to be denied. He just jumped in and grabbed that basketball. So good work by Draper. TU back the other way by 4. Boyce with it out front. Over to Draper behind the arc. Right side Rodney at the block. Boyce lost it momentarily. You have to run it down inside. They'll reset it with 14 to shoot. Rodney, he'll fire a three-pointer. Rodney knocks it down for Tuskegee.
Is it just me, or is it Tuskegee shooting with confidence early in the second half?
It's not you. Tuskegee with the confidence. Sesberry with 2 threes. Pennington with 1. Now Walker with 1. Lenahan on the floor right side. Lost the dribble, tried to dump it down low. Boyce will run it down for Tuskegee. Trying to leave it behind for Riley. Riley in the other direction. Tuskegee by 7. Nice no look. Draper. Yeah, with the flush.
Good look. Outside on the break, R.J. Walker with the look-away pass.
Indeed, Draper with the finish. Draper unofficially with 16 in the ball game. And a timeout on the floor. 13:28 left in the ball game. Tuskegee all high fives as they head toward the bench. They lead 49-40. Tuskegee up 13:28 left. We'll take a break here on GTSN.
George Washington Carver. Those are some of the people that created or started that Tuskegee experience.
This place is it's so different. You have a support system, a real support system. We may ball and parlay, but the most important thing we do is graduate. And after we graduate, we accelerate in everything we do.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Live action. Peggs with a jumper out front. He knew it as soon as he released it. Peggs with another three-pointer.
That's a shot you can't stop.
Nope. I mean,
Can't stop it.
He's coming off a screen as well. Elevation so high, but Tuskegee leads at 49-42. Pennington works top of the key now. Looking right side, goes inside to Boyce instead. Over across the floor, Draper. Draper at the block, head fake, try to get it back in traffic. Peggs comes away with it for the Badgers. Left side to Lyles. Lyles runs it down, back to Peggs. Jumper by Peggs, missed on the shot. Backside rebound, Walker, and Tuskegee back the other way. Here comes RJ, quickly down the floor. Euro step to the glass, missed on his shot, but Barber going to be guilty of a foul on the inside by Spring Hill.
R.J. Walker, very creative in the open court. Made the plant with his left foot, got to the rack. Just a bit off the left side of the rim, but an excellent job just to carve that kind of space out.
On transition, you see Rodney in space for Tuskegee. Saw that space, got it past Barber on the Euro step, and Barber picks up his third, and Rodney to the line to shoot, and he got the first.
Now, I'm not one to be picky, but that's where being able to shoot with both hands comes in handy. He shot that last layup with his right hand. Had he gone to his left, would have created a better angle off the glass.
And you're not being picky.
I'm not being picky.
Well, he got both free throws. Does that help?
Ball don't lie, it evens it out.
Final in overtime, Central State, or it was Kentucky State winning that ball game 57-56. I don't know if I read that wrong first time through or not, but it's Kentucky State winning that ball game.
I think the graphic was incorrect.
Okay, yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, Truck, but I think, well, I don't think about that shot by Peggs. I know that one's good. But I think Tuskegee needed that help from Kentucky State in that win over Central State.
When Peggs elevates, he kicks his legs alternately while he's in the air. It's an interesting shot, but it goes in.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because the last time we were up at the Outlaw Center, we played up there. He had a three-point shot that he kicked his legs, and they nullified the three. He made it, but with his kick, he hit the defender, so they took the points off the board. But he does kind of spread them right there as he shoots.
It's like a scissors action. He doesn't go straight up with his legs together. The legs kind of alternate while he's in the air.
Yeah, and he's got kind of a bow leg disposition already. When he kicks those legs out, it's almost like he's doing it to get full balance to go up even further on that shot.
I just hope he has a patent on it, because that is an unusually effective shot.
Well, Walter Peggs, he's a senior. He may not have a patent on that shot, but he'll get a chance to shoot that three-point shot somewhere in his future. Don't know if it'll be the NBA, but somewhere he will play to have that shot continue for him.
You shoot 44% from three-point range. As you say, someone will take a chance on you. That's tremendous. And he's shooting, I'm going to say this one time, he's shooting 60% from the field goal range overall. So you imagine if he cut down on his three-point shot, what his field goal percentage might be. It might be in the mid-50s.
Yeah, first team all-conference player. 51-45 lead as we take a look at the standings in the SIAC after the win at Kentucky State and Central State. On the west side, we take a look at it. Miles already clinched there. Central State, looks like that graphic had Central State winning the ball game on the first one, so they have pushed up to that second position over Kentucky State. Jumper in the corner. Sesberry finally misses one there. Lamano on the floor. He got the rebound. He'll run it back to the other end. We'll take a look at those standings when we get a chance to pull them up again, with Central State now pushing into the second position. And looks like they defeated Kentucky State as we take a third look at that graphic in terms of them playing. Pegs again. This time he missed. Rebound fought for at the block. Noah Goins clears for Tuskegee.
Every time Pegs takes a shot, the fans of Tuskegee groan.
Sure, oh no, right? Pennington, left side RJ. Tuskegee up by 6 with 11:20 remaining. Lead behind Draper. Webley pulls out defensively. Draper with 15 to shoot now. He'll slide left side, pass Webley to the rack. Missed on a flush. Goins with the follow, but Draper to the line to shoot. Webley with the foul.
Draper did an excellent job using his quickness against the bigger Webley. Got him moving in the wrong direction. Went to his left, got all the way to the rack. Here's the move by Draper. Dribbling with the left hand. Webley caught him with that same left hand as he went past him.
Draper missed on that first free throw, but to your point, Mark, you saw that Kasami recognized that early on out front. Said, let me take this, let me put it on the floor. And based on what our scouting tells us, I can beat him to the rack, and he did there. Draper, second free throw. That one stays and falls good for Draper and Tuskegee. Trying to get a look at these in-game stats. Computer not cooperating at this point as Pegs in the paint, pushes back to Lenahan. He'll push a three, missed on his shot. Draper backside rebound for Tuskegee.
Excellent job of Draper catching that last rebound at its peak.
Pennington, nice lead behind for Noah. Blocked at the base by Webley. It's loose on the floor. Noah dives for it. Webley down there as well. They'll go to the arrow, and this time it favors the Badgers of Spring Hill.
Goins thought he had space, but Webley on the recovery got a hand on the ball, hit it on the rim. Tuskegee will give up possession, it appears. Spring Hill will take over.
Back the other way with 10:42 left in the basketball game. It's a 52-45 lead for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee as the Badgers of Spring Hill with the basketball. Lamano across the timeline now, and he'll back things out front. Right side, Lenahan with the basketball. Back to Lamano. Line drive three by him, front of the iron. Rebound contribute, handled there by Rodney Walker for Tuskegee. Rodney between the legs, behind the arc, three-point shot. That one looks off, and it is. Webley got a backside rebound. Lenahan across the timeline now. He'll work it left side. At the block, Pegs working inside on a double. He's fouled, and a foul called. I think that'll go before they won't count the basket, I don't believe. And it'll be side out for the Badgers.
One of the few times we've seen Pegs operate with his back to the basket. Felt contact, tries to spin to the right.
They throw it away on the entry pass. Walker got it, 2-on-1, up the floor, DA. DA with the left hand. That's how you do it left side. Captain got that lay in with the left hand for Tuskegee. He's got 8 in the basketball game. They double Lamano out front. Now they dump it down to Webley. Webley pushes back out Pegs. Pegs right side, leans back, got space, jumper, knocked it down. He's got 5 3-pointers in this ball game. I know. That's the way he left me up at Spring Hill. He had 33 there. I was just left with my mouth open.
At some point, there's nothing else you can say about it.
Sure, absolutely. Walker out front now. 9:26 left in the ball game. In the corner, Sesberry. Guarded by Lyles. Kevin slipped momentarily, regains, leans back jumper. Sesberry answers with a basket the hard way, turning with his back to the defense.
Sesberry without the brace, unleashed in the second half.
He's got 11 in the ball game now. Half-court set for the Badgers. Tuskegee leads 56-47 with 9 minutes left. Peggs again from out front. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. This one tapped out of bounds. It'll belong to the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee.
Peggs is a difficult player to officiate because he drifts on his shot. And so officials have to determine whether it's his drifting or the contact that's causing the foul.
Sure. A lot of times if he's drifting forward, he'll get the call, but if he's leaning back, he won't get it. Lamano with a foul on a half-court set. That's his first. Tuskegee will inbound the ball just to our left with 8:50 remaining.
Spring Hill coach on the far sideline, hand on hip, shouting, "That's terrible."
Walker, top of the key now. He'll backpedal out front. He'll slide left side, lead behind Draper. Draper with a jumper. Draper, boy, that was a good look. It wouldn't stay this time, though. We're at 8:30 remaining. Tuskegee leads 56-47. Lamano up top now. They try to dump it inside, taken away by Goins on the block.
The length of Goins on defense.
Tuskegee back the other way now with 8:20 remaining. RJ worked to the left side. Draper with a screen out front. RJ got some space. Lead behind DA. DA on the move right side. Lean back with the jumper. DA rattles it good for Tuskegee.
Pennington.
He likes that shot. Yeah, he loves it leaning back. I think we got a timeout on the floor. 8:02 remaining in the basketball game. I think Coach Kennedy took it. Tuskegee leading it by 11, 58-47. We'll take a timeout here on GTSN. This immediate timeout, they're counted here.
Here at Tuskegee University, some of our historical figures like Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver, those are some of the people that created or started that Tuskegee experience.
This place is so different. You have a support system, a real support system. We may ball and parlay, but the most important thing we do is graduate. And after we graduate, we accelerate in everything we do.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Back live here inside Chappie James. 8:02 remaining in the basketball game. Tuskegee back up to an 11-point lead now, 58-47 over the Badgers of Spring Hill. Spring Hill will inbound the basketball. Stephen Lyle set to do that down to our right. Sesberry defensively for Tuskegee. Out front, Barber handles for the Badgers. Webley on a screen. Barber left side, he'll lead behind for Peggs. At the block, Webley. They work it inside. He's doubled by Goins. Good collapse defensively. Noah backside snuck in there to tie that basketball up. Arrow will send it to Tuskegee.
Goins got two hands on the ball, even though he was thrown to the floor. Came up with a smile on his face and said, "I accomplished what I wanted to do on that last turnover."
Throw me around like a rag doll, but I'm holding on here. Right. RJ, top of the key now. He'll slide right side. Back out, back pedals away from the cylinder. Sesberry again for three. This time he rattled it on a quick shot. Lamano at the block to get the rebound. Outlet pass, Barber just in front of us on a weave. Lamano out front, line drive, three-pointer, and fouled by Noah, and Noah Goins out front. So Lamano will be shooting three.
Goins feeling as if he was victimized on that last call.
7:26 left in the ball game. Rocco Lamano to shoot from the line. He got the first for the Badgers. Third field goal for him in the ball game. Corrado the second good on a three-point effort.
Draper to the sideline. I would imagine he's going to get about a 3-minute rest and be brought back with about 4 and some change remaining in this ball game.
So Romano from the line makes it a 58-50 ball game. Tuskegee half court set with 7:19 remaining. Pennington in the corner on the move, got space, jumper, DA, good.
Pennington, much stronger second half than he was in the first.
Basket there, right corner. That'll make it 60-50. Tuskegee up by 10. Romano up front now, trying to double screen for Pegs. Lyles hops in the paint, floater to the glass, missed on the shot. Webley got a rebound, but they'll get him going back the other way. Got a whistle on the inside. Yeah, it'll be Webley kind of pushing off there. When he pushes off, it's pretty noticeable.
It's a tough matchup for Pennington because he is playing Pegs, matching up with him most times down the court on defense. That'll take a lot of energy out of your shot.
Tuskegee up by an even 10 with the basketball. We're at 6:42 remaining. Pennington pops out for the basketball, right side. Sedgbury now at the block. Boyce, jumper, Amir. Spinner is off the mark. Romano with the rebound. Barber across the timeline. Across the floor, Lyles. Webb, or Pegs for three. This one front of the iron. Found the range at least. He can't hit in from way out there. Boyce got the rebound. Tuskegee with 6:10 remaining. Goins on Barber. One-on-one. Whistles. And shot fell off. Barber on the inside. A big mismatch on the inside with he and Noah Goins. And Barber picks up his fourth.
What's interesting about Spring Hill, they do an excellent job of disguising that matchup for Barber when Goins is trying to go down low. As it stands, Bo Barber headed to the sideline.
Picks up his fourth, and Jaden Emery, the sophomore from Atlanta, reports for Coach Kennedy and Spring Hill. Boyce at the block on Riley. Amir spins. Riley tries to give chase, and it goes down the well, down toward the locker rooms. Pennington knows that area well. He'll run down there and get it. Glad you could join us for coverage on GTSN. 6:01 remains in the ball game. Charles Ward, Mark Laster with the call. Final home ball game of the season for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. The women already winners this afternoon in the front half of the doubleheader, 49-38. And the men trying to follow suit against the Badgers of Spring Hill, trying to defeat Spring Hill for the second time this season.
Draper back in after a very short rest.
The whistle's inside. Riley guilty of a foul inside the paint. Draper working for position on the inside.
I thought Draper might sit for about 3 minutes. He sat for all of about 45 seconds.
Yeah, it's downhill track now with less than 6 minutes remaining. You'll likely see him throughout the duration of this basketball game. The captain, D.A. Pennington, calling the troops together at the free throw line for Tuskegee as Draper gets set to shoot. Final regular season ball game for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee on Monday from Memphis, Tennessee at the Bruce Hall Gymnasium. Women's basketball at 5:30, men at 7:30. The coverage for you, audio only on GTSN as Draper hits the first free throw.
We talked about turnovers and free throws in the first half. Going down the stretch, this is going to be very important for Tuskegee on both accounts.
Draper good on the first free throw, and Kasami knocks down the second. On average, during the course of the season, his numbers from the line not that impressive, but when it's clutch time, just like he did out in Oakland, he's good from that free throw line. Got him both that trip for Tuskegee.
Pennington almost got a hand on that cross-court pass.
Under 6 minutes left now. Tuskegee up by 12. Emery with it out front, and this is a kid that they are high on at Spring Hill as well, the sophomore from Atlanta. Lamano, he'll handle out front. Spring Hill will look a lot different next year with a lot of the taller players graduating as Lyles goes to the rack left side. And Lyles, the senior, got that basket.
Lyles doesn't have the range of Pegs, but he's very artistic inside.
Yeah. Using more of a traditional player for them in terms of finding his space, but Pegs, he just got it half court. Any space is good for him. Walker backing in on Emery. He'll slide right side now. We're sliding our way to 5:05, and we're going back the other way. They call the foul. They call the foul on Draper on the inside. So Draper's picked up his second personal. 5:07 remains in the ball game. Emery across the timeline now for Spring Hill. Up top, they work it to Lamano. Traveled on that play there. Yeah, he tried to get his feet up under him after he got the pass from Lyles.
Goins a little bit expressive, gets a warning from the referee on that sideline as Romano took the extra step. Tuskegee has got to play discipline down the stretch.
Noah really hangs his hat on his defensive effort, and anything that comes up aces for him on the defensive side, he's totally excited about it. Pennington guarded by Peggs on the outside. We're under 5 minutes remaining. DA with 17 on the shot clock, works it out front to Draper. Draper cross dribble on Riley, works his way inside the paint, leans back but missed on the shot. Riley clears for Spring Hill. Emery across the timeline for Spring Hill all the way through, back out front. Romano line drive three, rattled it good for Spring Hill. That's his third three-pointer of the ball game.
Big possession for the Golden Tigers. Sorry about that.
Very good. 4:15 left. They lead 62-55. Walker up the floor on Emery. Left side, Draper away from the basket. Up top, Noah. On the entry pass, Draper bobbled it momentarily. Now works on the block at Riley. Floating hook shot. Spinner falls good for Draper.
That hung on the outside of the rim just a little bit too long for comfort.
Indeed.
But it dropped.
Yeah. I want to give you the home roll on that one. Unofficially, Draper with 18 in the ball game. Not sure about his rebounds at this point for Tuskegee. 64-55, TU leads. Riley working left block on Draper. Backs his way in, pushes back to Lyles. They go right back inside to Riley. Whistles on the inside. Draper guilty of foul number 3.
Foul number 21, Simon Draper, his third personal.
So 3:36 remains. And a timeout on the floor. Tuskegee leads 64-55, 3:36 left. We'll take a timeout here on GTSN.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your kind of fabulous.
I'm Rolandus Rice, Chief Operating Officer and the Vice President for Student Affairs at Tuskegee University, and this is the Golden Tigers.
TU Chief Operating Officer and Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Rolandus Rice. Thank you for your support of GTSN. 3:37 remains in the contest here. Final home ball game of the season for the Golden Tigers, and they lead it 64-55.
I love how some of the administrators for Tuskegee just take to doing these promos, as they say, like ducks to water. Some of them have a little Hollywood in them. That promo by Rolandus Rice, you notice how he's holding the mic?
Oh yeah, he's seasoned. No question.
He's Showtime all the way.
Yeah, he is. Saw him out in Oakland at the All-Star Weekend, and just bubbling over because of just what Tuskegee did in terms of the administration, being almost everybody from the administration, the Alumni Association from out west, from Los Angeles to Oakland, and even 20 or 30 from the Atlanta chapter making its way out to Oakland. Just a fabulous show for Tuskegee University. Dr. Rice, definitely one of the ones leading it as well. Lyles at the right block, pushes across the floor. Lamano line drive, missed on that shot. This one top of the cylinder, basketball to Tuskegee.
Have to give you credit for making the trip out there and handling the duties. Noticed your social media post, which was great, but the idea that Tuskegee had national coverage on a Saturday in prime time, just about on All-Star Weekend, is huge.
Indeed it is. And expect the dividends to be flowing to Tuskegee, not only in terms of just attention to the school, but enrollment as well. That was a big showing for TU out west. And boy, did they really make a showing out there. You see that fan base in terms of the people that were there. Certainly percentage-wise, it's more in favor of Tuskegee than Morehouse.
I saw at one point during the game, it looked like they were trying to get the wave going out there.
Trying. They had that thing full tilt. And I couldn't believe that. That's when I knew I was at a party, right? Yeah, they had that thing full tilt, the entire arena. I think I mentioned to you off air during the pregame of this contest as Rodney hit the first free throw, is that it was sectioned off. The bottom section is where they sold the tickets. they sold those tickets out in the warm-ups for the NBA before the ball game. It's like maybe an hour or so before they cleared the arena. When we got set for the ball game, I was looking around saying, man, there's not going to be anybody here. A couple of minutes before tip-off, looked around, the thing jam-packed. 10,000 plus in that bottom half of that arena that seats over 18,000.
Oh, that's
the
great.
NBA just finally said, hey, we got what we want on the bottom bowl. Let's let everybody else in free at the top. Riley at the block. Had that one rejected inside. Tuskegee on that defensive stand there. They'll get the basketball back with less than 3 minutes left.
And you couldn't help but notice how Tuskegee closed that game in the last 5 minutes with such confidence and poise on a national broadcast. I was wiping my eyes saying, who are these guys?
Oh, so was I, man. I was on the brink of tears. Floater inside, tapped again by Draper. Goins giving chase as he and Peggs tied up.
Look at the effort. Look
Sure.
at the effort.
Noah prides himself on his defense. Peggs challenging that. They'll get it on the arrow, though.
Goins had his back turned to Peggs, had his hand between the body and the ball, and would not give up.
Indeed. Just last point on that Oakland experience. After the ball game, after Tuskegee won, I went to the locker room with the team, and they had the emblem. Both teams got emblems just for their teams for appearing. And Tuskegee celebrating so hard with the emblem. They gave me the emblem, had me out there dancing.
Gotta love it.
I don't think they did. I enjoyed those couple of minutes on the floor, though.
But it had to be great to be a part of it. Just
it
the
was.
energy.
Absolutely. It was just so energetic. Makes you just really be proud and associated with Tuskegee to whatever degree you are. Under 2 minutes remains. Tuskegee lead behind Draper, and there's an Alabama power point in the paint for Tuskegee.
That's the same poise they exhibited down the stretch in San Francisco against Morehouse. Tuskegee running the offensive set, getting the ball to Draper for the jam.
Up by 10, 68-58 with less than 2 minutes remaining. Take a look at this Alabama power point in the paints by Tuskegee. Watch Walker there, like you referenced, so much under control. Nice little lead behind there. Draper finishing in the paint.
Draper on that play set up as he was setting the pick. Didn't feel a lot of contact, rolled at just the right moment, finding the pass from Walker.
I'll tell you what, when basketball's flowing like that as a player, you just feel like this game is so easy because everything's just kind of working in rhythm and the motion's so solid. Free throw good there by the Badgers. Lead now 68-60.
It really is an easy game. Hit the open man.
That's true. Sometimes you got people opposing that, but Draper across the timeline saves it somehow, goes all the way to the rack, and Riley fouls him. So it's Kasami going to the free throw line. There shows some of his skills away from the cylinder for Tuskegee.
How did he salvage that ball on the sideline without the dribble? Caught, maintained the dribble, and got to the rack. How did he do that?
Yeah, no question about it. Kind of pirouetted right here at the mid-stripe and able to stay in bounds. And like you referenced, picked up the pace on the dribble and got all the way to the cylinder.
Now, for those of you just tuning in, that's a 6'9" ball player doing that.
Yep. Draper hits that first free throw.
Those of you that have been with us, you understand what work Kasami Draper has been doing all ball game, facing a much taller and larger player in Jaden Wembley, and just took Wembley to school in the first half, which really set the tone for the Golden Tigers.
Indeed he did. He recognized that as a personal challenge, and he really soared above it in this basketball game as he knocks down both free throws. I've got him officially at 24, but we'll see where that lines at the end of the day. But a minute 38 remaining here inside Chappie James, and Tuskegee up by 10 again.
So here's my question for you, just to try to put a bow on that whole San Francisco experience. What does it really say about two things? The level of talent on this Tuskegee team when they're playing focus. Second, what would it be like if you ruled the world and Chappie James was packed to the rafters and this team played in front of a capacity crowd that wasn't on their cell phones?
Nice call on that. You got one thing on the front end. This is something that Coach Taylor talked about before we even started the season. He's like, Charles, I got something special this year. And he knew it was going to take a little bit of time for them to get right and get their rhythm. But that team we saw in Oakland and team that we're seeing here this afternoon in the second half is a team that Tuskegee can certainly be proud of in terms of the quality of play that he got with their players. Now, to your second question about what it's going to take, what it would be like for them to play inside of an arena at Tuskegee full of fans and get them at that level of excitement, that's a challenge for the entire Tuskegee community to get these fans here. No question about the talent on the floor. We just got to do some things to get more fans in here. Riley and Draper tied up in the backcourt.
Draper comes away with a smile on his face, saying, "You may try to bully me, but I still had the ball."
And I'll tell you what, man, those smiles are happening more often for Draper here, latter half of the season.
Well, you know, it's interesting. When the Tuskegee team came out of the locker room at the end of the halftime break, they just seem to have a bit more confidence in their stride coming on the court. I don't know what was said at halftime, but you could tell that this was a different attitude to start the second half.
I'll tell you one thing that I can't speculate here because it's a different scenario. But there have been times in the season when Tuskegee has been behind going into the locker room, and with an absolute straight face, Coach Taylor would tell them, "We got them exactly where we want them." And he's saying it from the standpoint of knowing what this team is capable of in the second half. And if they just settle down and get into the rhythm that he expects them to play in, he's confident about what they can do in the second half of basketball after they make some adjustments. Lamano, Barber, he'll push a three from way out front, missed on the shot. Long rebound back to Barber, back to Lamano. Barber again, this time from the right side. Better result from him as he rattled that one good. 74 seconds left. Tuskegee now 72-63 over the Badgers of Spring Hill. And just a reminder, we're back on Monday from Memphis, Tennessee. Final ball game of the regular season, Tuskegee and the Magicians, women and men. First ball game at 5:30. That's Central Standard Time. We'll have the coverage on GTSN.
I want to send a personal shout out to the entire GTSA crew working this game. It's really been a pleasure working this season at home. You can tell that they've gotten into this as well. I think we've gotten a few extra cameramen on this broadcast. It seems like I've seen a lot more cameras tonight. Two in back of us. We got baseline cameras. We've got shots. I mean, we got a lot going on here.
Sure, I tell you what. I mean, we have been picking up personnel as this venture has gone on season long.
So you've been recruiting?
Sure, just people from anywhere.
You got a camera? Show up.
Show up. You can get some in.
I love it.
Nah, just big credit to Ogden Bass, Phil Proctor, Eric Tabor, just kind of pulling all this together. It was a work in progress for us with GTN as we started our video coverage this season, but I think as we've gone along in this season, really starting to get our production legs under us, and the result, we hope you like what you're seeing here on GTSN.
I have to say credit to you, going from a standing start, taking GTSN to where it is now. It is a labor of love, and you ought to be congratulated for elevating the presentation of Tuskegee sports across the board.
Oh, I appreciate that, but it's definitely a team effort, you included. After the timeout, Lawrence with it.
Draper was wide open.
Sure, like, give me one, give me one. Oh, I don't know if you saw it out at Oakland, though. They had a run out latter part of the ball game, right? Draper with it, leading a break. Dylan Cambridge really almost under the cylinder, right? Dylan and Kasami is about half court. It's like, I'm not passing this to you. I'm coming down for slam time now, right? After the game, Dylan kind of came up to us and said, man, you know, I was wide open. Kasami's like, I know you were, bro. Excuse me. This is TV time. Yeah, it's classic, man. He's just like, okay, I can get one more in here.
Sure. Get in when you can.
Sure. And Coach Taylor, once again, with 48 seconds left, just shows you how tight he stays in the basketball games. This started out as senior night, and he's going to let it end as senior night with Taylor coming back, Cole Pepper, and Evan Howell, the seniors for Tuskegee, back out on the floor.
Nice touch.
Sure. Yeah, you can't put much past Coach Taylor. He is a basketball man, no question about it. And Pennington with the first free throw from the line. It took you long enough. Took you long enough. DA hit them both from the line.
Did he say he injured his MCL?
Yeah, that right one. I get that left one.
He's still limping,
yeah,
but he's
showing
smiling.
a little. Yeah, just finally came alive. I was joking to him about just finally getting back into things, and he finally did.
Talking about Kevin Seasbury, who was camped out right in front of our broadcast table during the free throws, smiling to the crowd. We got his attention. He mentioned not having that brace on during the second half. Had to be feeling much better about his game than where it started out. It's
Indeed.
a tough haul.
Yeah, he came to life in that second half. Trying to get a total on him. I know he had 3 3-pointers and at least 1 field goal, so 11 for sure. And back-to-back fouls there as Rodney Walker was fouled. He got those 2 free throws. He'll get a handshake from Coach Taylor and a hug as Austin Taylor makes it back out on the floor with final 48 seconds remaining. Culpepper in the backcourt. Lanahan leaves it back to Lamano. Lamano on a move right side at the block. Evan Howells challenging him on the inside. Evan with already 1 Yellowwood block shot in this basketball game. Back on the field of play there. Picks up a foul on the inside.
Rocco Lamano got past Howell, but Howell had the presence to find the ball, make the block below the shoulder as Romano was trying to go for the scoop.
So Evan picked up his 3rd trying to defend. And he'll get a rebound here on the missed free throw by Lamano. Pennington in the backcourt, now doubled there. Lamano commits the foul with 33 seconds left. And you just watch him in practice. I got a chance to watch him out in Oakland a couple of times. We were on the road down in St. Thomas, where you watch him in practice and you just watch how much D.A. Pennington just really takes control of his team. He's the captain of the squad, and he really plays that role well, from leading them to the calisthenics to warm up for practice and even on the floor. There you saw him fouled in the backcourt, ran all the way back down to the other end and called the huddle immediately.
I have a question. What was the shooting background like in Oakland behind the rack? Was there?
It's typical NBA. Typical NBA.
Would you say it was darker than what it is here?
Yeah. I would say it was darker. It's got a different color scheme, and there's not as much lighting leaping in from out there than there was here.
Something to make note of. Playing conditions.
Well, when they go to Morehouse for the tournament, it'll be similar to this, I suspect, at Morehouse. It'll be a little bit lighter than what they had out there. Riley to the rack, and he'll get a lay-in and a foul.
Riley got bumped by Howell, who had his hands out pleading his case. But give credit, the Golden Tigers with 26 seconds remaining in this ball game. With under 3, they took care of their basketball, they shot well, and they played savage defense down the stretch.
In reference, we were talking about it before we hit air. Coach Taylor talking about that very thing with them having a lead at that 4-minute mark. A couple of times where they had that lead dissipate and actually lost a couple of ball games with that scenario. But the last time that happened, he told them, guys, I don't want you focusing on the things in the mirror. I want you looking at things in front of you and playing the next time we have a 10-point lead with 4 minutes left, what you do. And they showed it out in Oakland. D.A. across the floor. Whitmore. Christopher leads back with the jumper. Whitmore thought about it and finally took the shot there. He said, I got nothing to lose. Inside, Howell lost it in the corner. He'll dive for it. Got it to Whitmore, and we go back the other way.
The entire Tuskegee bench was up, cheering for players that rarely get the opportunity to get a shot up. They were hoping that somebody from the Pine would make one.
Sure. Lyles floater, he makes one for the Badgers on the inside with 0.7 seconds left.
You gotta love a show of camaraderie like that when you have the entire bench rooting for players that don't get a lot of daylight.
And just to see how focused these guys stay in practice in terms of the guys that don't play very much, they are just as in tune as the starters are as it relates to activities during practice and their protocol as it relates to games. And they know when they come out, it's a chance for them to get a chance to shine, if only for a few seconds. Christopher Whitmore on the floor, he's turned into a three-point specialist. This is not a new scenario for him because he will get playing time because of his ability as a three-point shooter. But Evan's just a quality, I'll say kid, but just a quality player and a quality young man. Tuskegee wins it by 8, 78-70 over the Badgers of Spring Hill. So it's a doubleheader win for the Golden Tigers. Women win 49-38. And Tuskegee 78-70 over the Badgers of Spring Hill. Just a quality effort by Tuskegee in this win over Spring Hill in a ball game. It's a final home contest for them, and they get set to turn their attention to the Magicians of Morehouse College on Monday on the road in Memphis, Tennessee. But the performance by Tuskegee in this ball game is one they're going to remember because it was a solid ball game for them, certainly in the second half.
Both teams are to be congratulated for just finishing the season strong. Excellent crowd here at Chappie James. I hope that down the stretch, as Tuskegee goes into the SIAC playoffs, that more people will come out and support the Golden Tigers and support them enthusiastically.
And one chance we'll have, even before the tournament itself and its earnestness at the Morehouse, is that next Saturday. We are likely going to be here, likely for 2 ball games, the men and women, but we know at minimum it'll be 1 ball game. The men of Tuskegee will be here in first round play. We don't know if they'll be playing as number 3 or number 4 in the conference. Right now they are 4th behind Miles, Central State, and Kentucky State. Those two played today. Central State won that ball game. So Tuskegee right now at 4, likely going to be playing 4 versus 5 out of the East here on next Saturday. But there is another chance, as you referenced, to this Tuskegee team and fans to get behind this program.
Great to see the entire roster for Tuskegee celebrating at half court. Senior day, but this is team day, as coach in front of the shot. I mean, great day to celebrate men and women's basketball at Tuskegee University.
Yeah, Coach Taylor always amped to do an Omega pose. He is an Omega man. He'll let you know that at every chance he gets, but he is also firmly behind his players at Tuskegee. There is a genuine love that he has for these players and his coaching style. He knows that he's on them hard during practice, but he is just so thankful that they are so responsive to the way that he coaches and trying to bring out the absolute best in those players.
Beauty of this game, no one wants to leave. The players are still on the court. They're getting up a couple of shots and talking to friends and family. It's a beautiful scene here at Chappie James.
Indeed, the track and field team lining out again for another shot there inside of Chappie James Arena for the job that they did at the Indoor Track and Field Championships. Chance to get the president, Mark Brown, in a photo with them to congratulate them for their work that they did just up in Louisville, Kentucky. They just got back here today from that trip up in Louisville.
Great.
So things just really rosy for Tuskegee overall. While we had a chance, let's take a look at some of the numbers inside of this men's game. As for Tuskegee in the ball game, they finished from the floor 25 of 58, shooting at 43%. We've got some live stats that were given to us here from the scorers table, so we'll run through those. We're not able to put them up on screen for you, but we'll share them as we have them here. Tuskegee 9 of 17, shooting from behind the arc at 53%. And Tuskegee 19 of 21, over 90% shooting from the free throw line. In the ball games you've done in the course of the season, that's always been the Achilles heel for Tuskegee, what they've done from the free throw line.
Make your free throws, take care of the basketball. It's a great formula going into the tournament because they should remember what it requires of them to win games down the stretch when they're close.
Badgers of Spring Hill, they were 22 of 61 shooting at 31%, 9 of 30 shooting for them from behind the arc, and 17 of 21 shooting from the hot line at 81%. For the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, on the boards for Tuskegee, they had 37 rebounds compared to 39 for Spring Hill. Let's go to the category you're always looking at, last of the turnovers. Tuskegee with only 8 in the ball game compared to 13 for the Badgers of Spring Hill. Anytime you're under 10, you've done your job.
It's a great point. Turnovers have been a problem from time to time for Tuskegee, but they got solid play this afternoon.
Golden Tigers of Tuskegee from the floor, several players in double figures, but led by Kasami Draper. Draper finishing with 27 points in the ballgame. Did not get the double-double for Tuskegee, finished with 7 rebounds in the contest. But boy, what a performance by him.
I get the sense that Draper is just now getting comfortable in the center position. With every game, you can see some growth in his game. His footwork is becoming more crisp, and the fact that he actually wants the ball down low.
it's been a work in progress to get him comfortable from down low. As we take a look at some of the highlights in the ball game, there at the rack and then working it on the floor with that movement. We mentioned the fact that he started out as a wing player in his high school days, and because he chose Tuskegee, because of his height, and this is Division II basketball, had to be pushed on the inside a little more.
We just saw 4 shots from Draper. His number 5. All 5 are different.
Good.
The turnaround jumper, the face-up jumper, the drive to the rack, the open court jam. No 2 shots were alike. And so that shows you how much Draper has grown his offensive game.
Certainly showing a lot of versatility for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. And as you referenced, diverse play from him got him 27 points at the end of the day. They also got 17 from DeAnthony Pennington and Kevin Seasbury with a difficult first half, favoring that left leg, finished with 11 in the ball game, and he provided a spark for Tuskegee when they needed some offensive power.
When I saw Seasbury limping through warm-ups, I expected he might play 3 minutes.
Sure, you
just for
referenced that.
show. Come in, start, have a seat. Seasbury played just about the entire ball game.
Indeed. R.J. Walker with another good performance by him, mostly from behind the arc, but R.J. finishing with 18 as well. He has developed, and this is one of the players I was talking to you about with Coach Taylor, and he knows that his coaching style is one that's very hard, and he is just so appreciative of R.J. Walker, because R.J. coming into this program being thrust out as the leader of this offense to run the offense, coming from a JUCO program, he knows that that's a difficult turn for a player like that, and he's just so appreciative that he's willing and open to take the coaching from Coach Taylor.
There's a difference between a point guard and a lead guard. Walker is a lead guard.
Nice call.
Took control of the offense, and you can see how smoothly they ran in the second half.
Nice call. Just a combined effort by so many players for Tuskegee to win this ball game over the Badgers of Spring Hill. They win it 78-70. We'll take a final timeout, come back with some final thoughts from Mark Lassiter as we get set to close things out here on GTSN. Taylor a couple of minutes, but I think he's gone. And we are back inside Chappie. James, we're being asked to smile by the production crew, but we can do that anyway because Tuskegee wins this one 78-70 over the Badgers of Spring Hill in a ball game, Mark, that all the Senators for Tuskegee, certainly after the intermission, really started to work in their favor, and they just really commanded the final 20 minutes.
I'm hoping that Tuskegee can maintain this momentum, play well on Monday, and look forward to next Saturday.
And hopefully they will do all of that, and they play on Monday against the Magicians of Lemoyne in Memphis. And if they do that, regardless of how they fare on Monday, we'll be back here in Chappie James on Saturday for more Golden Tigers basketball.
Well, let's go.
Well, we got to wait a few days. We'll go. You're going to stay here until Saturday?
Stay here.
Okay. We'll just keep you here. Why don't you do some push-ups while you're waiting?
Not a problem. That 5 is all I got.
Gotcha. Doubleheader wins for Tuskegee this afternoon. The women winning in their ball game, and the men finish with the win over the Badgers of Spring Hill 78-70. Tuskegee now at 12-13, and more importantly 10-9 in SIAC play. Badgers fall to 8-16 and 6-13. In SIAC play. Chance for us to thank our president, Dr. Mark Brown, who's out here taking pictures with all of the student athletes from Tuskegee, to Rhonda Rice, our chief operating officer, and to the Golden Tigers director of athletics, Reginald Ruffin, and executive producer of GTSN, for allowing us to come here on a Saturday and cover this basketball action and all of our coverage of Tuskegee athletics. Special thanks to Deborah Rogers-Jones, the chief operating athletics director, and to Nick Brown, Jordan Benson, and to our entire GTSN production crew on a Saturday afternoon. You called it early on.
Great job, guys.
Spot on today with your work. Thanks so much. And to Mark Lassiter for his coverage of Golden Tigers basketball throughout the season. We have one more tilt with you next Saturday.
Let's do it. I'm looking forward to it, and it's great working with you. I mean, I'm just hoping that the momentum of this team continues until Saturday.
And we'll see you then for the coverage here on GTSN, but we'll also see you Monday on the audio side from Bruce Hall at Lemoyne College as the Golden Tigers go on the road. Women's action at 5:30, men to follow on GTSN. Make sure you join us for our coverage from Memphis, Tennessee. Until then, Charles Ward on behalf of Mark Lassiter saying thanks so much for joining us. And this has been a production of the Golden Tigers Sports Network.
Hey, future business leader. Launch your success story at one of the nation's premier HBCUs. Learn cutting-edge practices and feed your entrepreneurial spirit. Tuskegee University. We get the business of business education.